according to rennet found in anhydrous animals is prohibited.
Écoutez, en résumé pour le moment, le rennet qu'on trouve dans un animal, il est prohibé. Un animal d'idolâtre. Renata, you okay? You want to give to somebody else?
Yeah.
Mishnah says.
The Mishnah states, the rennet of an animal slaughtered by an idolater and of a nevela is forbidden. Evidently, the rennet of an animal slaughtered by an idolater and the rennet of a nevela are not one and the same. The former is forbidden for benefit as an idolatrous offering in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, whereas the latter is forbidden only for consumption as a nevela. The Gemara comments on the Mishnah's ruling that forbids the rennet of a nevela. This accords with the initial teaching regarding rennet, which deems the rennet to be a part of the animal. The Gemara notes that the Mishnah's final ruling reflects the dissenting view. The Mishnah there concludes, if a trefa animal suckled from a kosher animal, its rennet is permitted. The Gemara comments, this accords with the final teaching regarding the rennet, which deemed the rennet to be independent of the animal. The Gemara addressed the Mishnah's middle ruling, which states, if a kosher animal suckled from a trefa animal, its rennet is forbidden, for it retained its original trefa milk stages. The Gemara comments. This also accords with the final teaching regarding rennet. The Mishnah in Tractate Eduyos records.
Let's stop here. Let's stop. So, what we understand till now is that the problem with the cheese, qu'on comprend jusqu'à maintenant, c'est que le problème avec le fromage, according to the Mishnah, is because of the rennet used to give to it a specific aspect. On voit que le problème avec le fromage, en fait, c'est ce rennet-là. So what is the rennet? C'est quoi le rennet? We know that it's the liquid, that material, that's liquid, which is made instead of the stomach. What is this name? In English, it's gastric acid, right? Et en français, c'est le sucre gastrique. And this gastric acid, how come they found that it's useful to make the cheese? Et ils ont trouvé que c'était utile pour faire du fromage. So the question is, why do we call it rennet? So we have to crack this name. What is this name? On va expliquer ce nom. Rennet, Gematria, Rabbi Nathan Hanan. Gematria, Rennet.
Rennet. Average 200. Noon 50. Head is 9.
Okay. Abishai, what is the Hadbash of rennet? C'est quoi le Hadbash de rennet? We can do it. Aleph, Taf, Bet, Shin, Gimel, Resh, Dalet, Kuf, et Tzadi, Rav, et Zain, Aïn. So how do you transform this? So the resh become gimel. The noon. Continue, yeah? I'll help you. Chet and tet. So if zayin, if ayin, chet, you V. Mem. Ok, pas de gematria. You agree?
What is that? Aleph, Chet.
Gimel, chet.
Oh, okay.
Même. You agree? Vous êtes d'accord? Adbash of Renet is Gacham. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No?
Let's see. Vav, Zayin, Ayin. Chet, it's what? Sameh. Tet, it's Nun. Yud, it's Mem.
Oh.
Chaf is it's finished. So now what's happened? Again, Resh Gimel. Nun. Nun is Tet. And Tet is? No, Tet is Nun. Nun is Tet, Tet is Nun. You get it? So Gematria. 62, which is? Sag. C'est Kimakolen. This is why we are fighting. C'est ça qu'on se bat with this rennet. Because the rennet, basically, this gastric acid, ce sucre gastrique, what does it touch? Touch your bina. Ça touche ta bina. Ça endommage le eke. It's damage the eke. And it's bring you to fall in this idolatry. Why? Because people, when they are falling in idolatry, they build it in their intelligence. They say, no, look, I made up my mind, I opened the Talmud, it's all old story. It's fake things. I think that in my consciousness, I have to go there. Je dois aller dans cette direction-là. People who are idolaters, they are not crazy. They think, they analyze, and they make choice. So how come they go on the wrong path? Because the sag is trapped. What is the sag? It's a question of the rennet. C'est le truc du rennet. Why do I use the adbash? Because the adbash is the returning light. If this is in idolship animal, the opposite is kedusha. So the adbash of rennet is bring to me sag. Like this you have to do when you have some term. You can check in all the Torah, you don't have rennet except in the Gemarot. So how can you explain? Go in the Gematria. Try to see what's happened, why they are fighting. We take 10 pages, rennet. What is rennet? Okay, we don't care about rennet. No, we do care. Because it's the Bina itself which is in game. Donc en fait, c'est quoi le rennet? Pour comprendre c'est quoi l'origine d'une chose, quand elle est dans le mauvais, il faut regarder le adbash. Le adbash, c'est ce qu'on appelle la lumière qui remonte. C'est-à-dire que j'ai un nom qui est utilisé dans la clipa, je prends le adbash, ça me donne l'origine dans la gusha. Donc quand je prends ce rennet-là, donc les sages, ils parlent dans la Mishnah, dans la Gemara, ils en parlent au moins de 10 pages, c'est en fait me parler de sag. C'est quoi sag? C'est yud vav dalet et yud vav vav et yud. C'est quoi sag? C'est la bina. What is bina? Intelligence and reason. L'intelligence, la raison. That's why in Maseret Avodah Zarah, they talk two Mishnayot to talk about the rennet. Ils prennent 2 Mishnayot, only rennet. So the question is, why they put it in the cheese, which is the with the Chalav, the symbol of Chalavi. The cheese is the symbol of Chalavi. Pourquoi ils le mettent dans l'histoire du lait, enfin du fromage qui est le symbole du Chalavi? For that, before we go and we crack it, let's see. Shar HaMitzvot, Parashat Mishpatim. Shar HaMitzvot, Mishpatim. I sent the picture.
So through the gematria of Renet, you now concluded that it means what exactly?
We're talking about Bina. Because we are in the Mishnah talking about the fact that you have to be careful not to eat the things. And it shows from the beginning of the that we probably 4 months inside, that the purpose of Avodah Zarah is to avoid any actions which will let idolatry enter inside of us or connect with us. And now we are for a few weeks on the food aspect. So when we talk about rennet, I want to know basically what is the rennet. It's the gastric acid. It's the gastric acid. Go and check in your science definition. This is a liquid done with 99% of water. So I don't understand if it's water, why you call it acid. It's an expression of something which was good at the beginning, it falls, it changes aspect. That's why the acid, it can even put something inside, it will burn it, it will destroy the material inside. So I talk about the ring inside of the stomach. So if I understand this, and we know, we studied last week, that the stomach is the final stage of the esophagus, where you have drink and the food going down. So again, and we say that the esophagus is Bina. We said last week. So we're not concluding. We're getting proof after proof after proof after proof. Last week we saw that in the system of the three pipes which are here, the stomach is related to the esophagus with the pipe of food and drinking, and it says it's on the left side, it's Bina. So there is. I find Bina and the gastric acid. So let's see now. What he said in Mishpatim. Donc en fait, pourquoi on arrive à Bina? Rabbi Monakel a demandé. En fait, on ne conclut pas. On apporte des preuves, proof. La semaine dernière, on a vu que toute la dimension des 3 cavités qui sont là, l'œsophage, la aorte et les voies respiratoires, j'ai oublié le nom, comment on appelle ça, windpipe, la trachée, on voit que la partie gauche ici, qui amène jusqu'à l'estomac, elle s'appelle Bina. Donc tout ce que je vais avoir ici, donc everything I will have in that channel till the final expression of the channel has to be connected to Bina. After you make your research, the Adbash of Renet, Sag. So we are dealing with that purpose. Donc maintenant, regardons c'est quoi le symbole du Chalavi. What is the symbol of the Chalavi?
2 weeks ago in Yod, that was about what we said before was in Bina. Because it will be connected with Yod, and then the parashat is here.
Yes.
So it's still the same. Lamed
Lamed Vav, sorry. Je suis trompé de phrase, excusez-moi, c'est Lamed Vav. So you see Lamed Vav, just on the left side, côté gauche, en bas. C'est Be'inyan Basar Bechalav. let's talk about the meat inside of the milk. He said you will not cook the goat. How do you say it in English? In the
mother's milk.
in mother's milk. Yes. This is the halakha. C'est la halakha. On ne cuit pas le chiavron dans le lait de sa mère. Vas-y, c'est Ketiv, lo tevashel gedi bechalav imo. C'est écrit ne cuis pas le gedi dans le halal de sa mère. Don't cook the gedi in the milk of his mother. C'est Morizala Na'ag. What was the behavior of Kadosh? Na'ag, shebekol yom she'achal gvina. So you see, we jumped. It's written chalav, but to explain this halacha, Rabbi Chaim Vital jump on the gvina aspect. You see what Kadosh doing? Every single day when he was eating gvina, chaque jour il mangeait la gvina, du fromage. Lo haya ochel basar ad halayla. He was only eating meat at night time.
Oh, really?
What does it mean? They had only 2 meals a day. You eat in the morning after the tefillah, and you eat at night. So he was living between this and that, 12 hours, almost.
He wouldn't eat for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So he probably had dairy in the morning.
Yeah. You see, we hold that after meat, we don't eat chalav. Nous, on tient ça. Après la viande, on ne mange pas de lait. What is he holding at Kadosh? The opposite. After chalav, it doesn't eat meat. Après chalav, il ne mange pas la viande.
It was only a result of the fact that they only have 2 meals. I mean, not only. I'm saying that you could say.
No. No, because you will explain. It's a minhag. It's a minhag betel. We don't eat chalav. For example, I will never drink coffee with milk Shabbat morning, and after I go pray and I eat my meat. No, impossible. I cannot. For me, it's asur. There's nothing like that.
But you would have a sandwich in the morning, and later that night have meat.
If
have dairy.
Yeah, if I have dairy in the morning, I will eat after. After. Shalom, shalom. How are you? Welcome. I will eat after. What is after? Almost 12 hours was Rav Get. Less Makpid, 6 hours. Just that. After chalav, be careful. So some people may say, you just eat your chalav, rinse your mouth, and eat. Where do you get it from? You're gonna see how. And what's happened? Achal gvina, lo haya ochel basar ad halayla. וראיתי מחמירים שלא לאכול הסוכר הנעשה מן הקנים המתוקים עם הבשר, לפי שהגביעים לבנים אותם, ועל ידי המערבין בין חלב עזיים וכנודע, ולכן אין אוכלים אותו עם בשר, ואני ראיתי למוריזלה שאכל עם בשר ביחד. So it's basically, it's another topic, but I just wanted you to see that. Even after the milk, même après le chalav, même après le lait, we don't eat meat straight. We, our nusach. We don't do that. Nothing. You have to make distance, real distance. It should be morning, night, or at least 6 hours.
No, even like during like Shabbat, like people have fish, and then before they bring out the meat, they'll do 2 things: either they'll bring the soup, kind of like they bring the meat, or they have l'chaim.
There's a problem because everything will be where in the stomach. Will be mixed there.
This is with fish.
No, because after you will eat
meat,
you will eat meat.
Yeah.
So except if you go the toilet and release everything before you eat that meat.
You're saying it's still gonna settle.
It's still on the stomach. And the stomach is not it's nothing, because it seems to be that for the Gemara, it's the place of the rennet, the place of the sag. the back of the sack.
But is that only with dairy or is that with anything, any mixtures?
No, mixtures with dairy and meat.
Okay, but I'm saying, would it be applicable to
To
fish and meat?
no, it's not the same.
Not the same.
Fish and meat, it's both of them, they're in the category of animals, let's say, kosher. We don't eat them at the same time. Question of kavod. But here it's forbidden to mix them, the dairy and things. So now let's see. What is the milk? I'll do a pause exactly just to get the kid up when we finish. What is the milk? Keep the same book. Regarde le même livre. C'est quoi le lait?
Same page?
No, same book. I will let you know the page now.
So remember, you have by 6 hours or 12 hours?
I'm holding by 12.
Gee, that's like a whole day.
That's why, or I eat that, or I eat that. I never try to make my day like it.
Shawarma or coffee?
Yeah. So let's see.
I mean, what's the word Nakuda? What's the like? Is it because like you're not a proper channel if you have those? Any like? Is it just kedusha, the separation? Like,
It's because the holiness of the stomach, which is basically the backlight of your own intelligence and reason, can be influenced if inside of this member you have these two things being mixed.
it affects the diet.
Yes. Which is why it's making us crazy. So go Daf Kuf Ain. I'll tell you Daf Kuf Ain.
See in the back of the book?
Yeah.
The backlight of intelligence and reason, you're saying? Backlight of Bina?
Yes. Yeah.
No, it does.
No, Bina, because it's sag, but if I touch Bina, that is good. Yeah. Yes, Kuf Ain. Sharab Suki.
So who's the guy who was doing the cheese sandwich?
Huh?
Cheeseburger.
it's just working.
Yeah, it was dark.
You guys knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
J'ai commencé tard le français pour ça. Kuf Ain.
In Africa, by the way, nobody cooks.
You see,
It's the culture.
it's like natural.
Yes, we eat meat,
Wow.
like meat, cookies.
But by the way, I talked to Robert Violets extensively about what we're doing. He says it's beautiful.
Wow.
He says beautiful, and he even has rabbis that he knows will sign an endorsement for what we're doing. If we want.
So he said, you remember what we saw before a few months about the Dedim, Eldad ou Medad. They are the two parts of the breast. Eldad, Medad. Eldad, Medad. And we say that they are the brother of Moshe. And they will say Moshe will not enter in the land. Why? Because Yoshua has to be the one bring the land, people on the land. On a vu que il y a 2 mois à peu près, que Eldad, Medad, c'est les deux parties. So we know that the dead, Dalet, is the breast. On sait que le Dalet, c'est le breast. So what is the pasuk of Shir Hashirim, Rabbi Elazar Hanan? Pasuk of Shir Hashirim.
Is it in the front?
Speaking about this.
Can I read it for me?
Yes,
Communicate to you
in Hebrew.
Oh. Mishkeni, Mishkot,
Mineshikot.
Minishkot Pihu. Ki
He
tovim
kissed me with the kiss of his lips.
Ki tovim dodecha.
Dodair.
Dodaich. Dodaich.
Pasuk is it?
Miain.
Chapter 1, Pasuk 2. So what is Dodair? It's translated like by love in English. In French, translated by hugs. But dead, it's dead. Dedim is the breast. What is he asking Rabbi Shua to Rabbi Ishmael? So what the connection between the breast and the wine? Because I want to explain to you why it's forbidden to get profit from this pasuk. We're getting close. So we know that the dead, the dedim, is the breast. On sait que les dedim, c'est les seins. We saw how it's built like the hair of Hashem is here, and here we have Eldad and Medad. Okay. Now see, Ve'ata Nevaer. So on the left side, second paragraph. Ve'ata Nevaer. Now we'll explain. So what does it mean? He said, the two breasts, they have pipe inside, and that pipe will bring milk. So I will explain to you how that milk is created from the hair of Elohim. What does it mean? I will make just this like a reminder for you. Je vais vous expliquer comment ça se fait que le hair de Elohim, il va faire du lait. We'll be slowly, but in 10 minutes, it's going to be solved. So, the remind about Eldad and Medad, it was like this. Le rappel à propos d'Eldad et Medad, c'était comme ça. We saw that El Elohim. How do we do? Comment on fait? I took the hell. This hell will be the hell of Eldad, right breast. And after we take the Yud Mem. What is that? This is the unit of Medad, left breast. So, what we understand, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Donc ça c'est le Eldad, c'est le sein droit parce qu'il est doux, is sweet. That's why you give your breastfeeding from the right. And Medad of me of Elohim. So where Ham is rooted, where the Necham are rooted, Medad. So I say now, this hair will be the factory of milk. Et ce hair-là va être la fabrique du lait. If you don't know all this, you cannot understand what the Gemara is talking about. You will read, okay, say there, Renet, Halal. He said that the milk is produced from the hair of Elohim. Le lait est produit du hair de Elohim. So as he said, Na'asit Chalav Kaniskar. והנה, נודע כי החלב הנמשך לדד ימין הוא יותר מתוק מסוד אחי. C'est the milk who goes here is sweeter. Il est plus doux. Le lait qui va du côté de elle. מחלב הנמשך לדד small compared to the חלב, to the milk which goes here. ואם כן, בית בחינות חלב. So based on that, we have two kinds of milk. You have milk 1 and milk 2. Donc de là, on a deux types de lait. If you want kosher and non-kosher.
But you're saying like the milk from the left side from the mother is like dinner.
It will be basically if you take a Jew mother, all the milk will be inside of the egg, but you will have the
L of the L and the May of the L. Because it's Jew. But if she's non-Jew, she will be in the May. Moshe didn't want even one drop in his mouth. But let's, in the general map, because we're in Avodah Zarah, I brought it like this. Right, left. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit? Il dit, וכן הבחינת החלב הצריכים, לשמאל. ואם כן, בית בחינות חלב צריכות להמצא באות ה' הנזכר. So say, based on that, I have to find inside of that letter the proof of 2 milk, 2 חלב. Tu vas trouver à l'intérieur de ce et-là la preuve de 2 חלב. Et dit, וזהו עניינם is. והנה, בית בחינות יש בהות ה'. We have 2 aspects in the hot ה'. אחד הוא בסוד מילוי, ואחד הוא בסוד ציור. So, hey, it's simple. If I talk about the hay, or I talk about the way, the shape of the hay, or I talk about the milui of the hay. So look, he said, if פרינת מילוי הוא, כי בית מיני מילואים יש בה בסימני יוד א'. So he said, if I talk about the milui, so I will be able to write Hey Yud, Hey Aleph, or Hey Hey. All of them, they're making the sound Hey. So say, take only the letter of the Milui. Yud Aleph Hey, right? רוצה לומר, יודין אין אלפין, כי Hey Hey Hey, והם גמטריה hell. So what does it mean? If I take the free milui, meaning 50, here, 6, and 10, it's gematria L. Right? Et 30, ça fait 31 gematria L si je prends 15 plus 6 plus 10. 7, gematria L. Ve'im gimel prinot are Lad, if I add the 3 options plus the 3 options, I will have 34. C'est avec les 3 options, je vais avoir 34. Not finished yet. V. חשבון ה אמצע ביותו פשוטה הרי lat. So I had this aspect of the he, because it's from the he. So I had 5. That is 5, it brings me to 39. Ça mène à 39. Lat, ve'im hakolel kulo are mem kemyan chalav. So if I do all the kolel, it's make me 40. What is 40? Gematria chalav. This is just by the milui, how I can prove that from the he, chalav can be found. And we have to find 2 chalav, but we do chalav. We have just found 1.
This is the Eldad.
Yes, because it's come from the head. Après il dit, Ve'abet betirim. So the second way is the way the shape of the hay. Deuxième possibilité, c'est la forme du hay. Betirim Reniska ve'em gematria kad. Sorry, ve'asheni atiurim Reniska em gematria kad. Ve'techaber ima'em otziot gimel. So how do you do kad? What is the tio?
La forme, donc tu peux faire E, Vav, ou I, ou E, U.
Perfect. So all right. Dalet.
Ah ouais, donc Dalet Vav ou Dalet U.
Dalet Vav. All right. Dalet Yud. Two options to make the hay. Gematria 24 card. You get it?
Fascinating. So you're going off of the Mishnah that says that it's a source for us to take milk from a cow that was either shechted the wrong way or is sick.
It's asur to take
Milk from a cow that
Yeah.
was shechted the wrong way or is sick.
Yeah.
And then further, Rabbi Ishmael comes along and says that it's a sort of take profit.
He's asking why the Mishnah don't say that it's asur to take profit.
He's asking why doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so,
And Rabbi Yehuda say because it's written like this in Shashirim, and it's not.
yeah, he brings a pasuk.
Yeah, and it's not.
Gotta love it. And then from there, you take the akbas of the word re'et,
Renet, yes.
and you take from that, and then you take the sad.
Yeah, because we saw that the stomach was the final destination of the esophagus, which is for the Ari, the sag pipe, the bina pipe.
And the sad pipe connects us to bina.
Yes.
And then so now you brought the word Elohim, and then you broke that into 3 parts.
Mhm.
And then,
Why? Because in the pasuk of Shashirim, it's talking about Dedim.
yes, that's right.
What's the
That's right.
pasuk again?
Chapter 1, pasuk 2.
And then so now you brought from the pasuk that speaks about breast, you break that into the word Elohim, and you break it into 3 parts. The
Yeah.
hay being the channel for the milk,
Yeah.
and the L being
The channel and the factory of the milk.
the factory, the production of the milk,
Mm.
and pipes being, or the nipples, whatever the
Yeah.
releasing, the L and him.
Yes. But we didn't to crack it yet. We're just building the
It's very technical Gemara.
Huh?
Very technical Gemara.
It's the way we study Gemara.
Mm.
When we go, we have to connect it to the soul. So we have to bring the concept where it's written, how it's explained, and suddenly you will see that the sage they were too high. Talking about things we even better, you can understand the Mishnah by yourself, just by knowing that. If you know that, okay, you can read because all the Gemara will be the confirmation of what you have understood. But just by knowing your classics in the Mishnah, you get it. So, so we are almost done. Okay, so if I do now the shape of the hay, I can write in the 2 shapes, or Dalet Vav, soit Dalet Vav, or Dalet He. So it's Gematria 4, ça fait 24. ותחבר עמהם ג' אותיות מילואים שבהם בלבד, והנזכר והם. So I say now, because it's still He, we'll have the 3 letters, meaning Yud, Aleph, E. הרי הכל גימטריה חלב. So if I had Kad plus Yud, Aleph, E, which is the inner aspect of the letter He, how it can be written, it's Gematria Chalav also. Ça fait aussi Gematria Chalav. Voici les 2 Chalav. C'est the 2 kind of Chalav that we have. So now what's happened? Look. Chalav. ואלה הם בית בחינות החלב שבאות עד אלוקים. So they are the 2 types of milk which come from the air of אלוקים. ושמעה באמצעה בית דידים הנקרא hell and me, and they are in the middle of the 2 side of the breast called hell and me. Et au milieu des 2 parties de la partie s'appelle hell and me. Les can, and they are giving even ear and ear. So what does this help us for? Qu'est-ce qui nous aide à faire ça? Simple. It's telling you what is the Avodah Zarah. It's something which keeps you away or out from the Kedusha. C'est quelque chose qui te garde loin ou t'éloigne de la Kedusha. So when I eat milk which is improper to consumption for me, what will happen for me? I will be trapped. Why? In the Klippa. How do I know? What's the purpose of Eldad Medal? To tell you if you enter in the land or not. To dire si tu rentres dans la terre ou pas. And that milk is the expression of the halavi, of the gvina that I will eat or not. So now to understand all this and to make it clear, we have to open the Zohar. Without the Zohar, it's impossible. We have different.
No, we figured it out, no?
How?
Well, I mean, now you made, I mean, the whole issue was the impure cow. I mean, you connected us to the process of how impurity happens, I mean, as it relates to milk,
Yeah.
right? And so now we understand why we can't, even the question that Rabbi Ishmael asked, why we can't take profit. I mean, like, even all that was answered through this, no?
How?
Because number one, I mean, we know that we aren't supposed to do it, right? That's what the Halakha says.
Yeah.
But the Mishnah is explaining to us you're explaining us the mechanism of which the Mishnah is functioning.
Mm.
And that mechanism is this context of impurity and this connection to, our connection is to Bina through drinking milk, in essence. And the treif, or the impure, is taking us away from that connection.
So how do you explain to someone who discovered this Mishnah why the Mishnah talks only about to eat, not about the profit?
Yeah, because that's the point. The profit, because he's saying even a bigger idea. He's saying that it's not just that we think consumption is just in the mouth, right? Consumption is anything that comes from that makom that we receive into our space, even if it's money in your pocket. Right? He's connecting the two things.
And how do you explain the fact that he is using the pasuk of Shir Hashirim to talk about the fact that we don't need to forbid, no, to say obviously that the profit is forbidden?
We don't need to say obvious. I don't know how to look at
The Gemara, yes. So look what said the Zohar, and you will see. The Zohar said like this. The Zohar dit comme ça. It's the Zohar Parashat Emor. It's like this. Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said, il a dit Rabbi Yehuda, Kol HaMoadim korin ba'em mikra kodesh. All the Moadim, they are called mikra kodesh. Tu peux lui faire ça. All the Moadim are called mikra kodesh. C'est-à-dire, tous les Moadim s'appellent mikra kodesh. Aval, Yotziim, Rosh Hashanah, Bekippur, Shelo Nimtzaim Ba'em Simcha. But we don't count the Rosh Hashanah and Kippur because there is no happiness inside. Il n'y a pas de joie dans Rosh Hashanah et Kippur. Shiare Em Din, Hem. Aval Elu Ashlosha, Mezumanim, Me'akodesh, Lesimcha. Akol, Le'ishtashea Ba'em, Ba'kadosh Baruch Hu. So he said basically, the other, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, they are called festival. And you are here to bring happiness inside. So this Mishnah is also talking about Pesach. What is beyond, we will see how. Keep in mind, Avodah Zarah, Taleh, Nisan, Rosh Hashanah. We'll see. Après, il dit, Vezeu shekatu, we see what is written. Vesamartem lifnei Hashem Elohechem, you will be happy in front of Hashem, your God, parce que joyeux devant Hashem, votre Dieu. Et Katuv, et Samarta, l'ifnei Hashem Elohecha. Et Yom HaShabbat, Azeh, on Shabbat, sur Shabbat, Ishkar Kol Hatza'ar. On this Shabbat, all the pain will be forget. Toutes les douleurs vont être oubliées à ce Shabbat-là. Vekol Arogan, Vekol Adochak, Mikol Haolam, and also all the serpents all over the world will be removed. So what's happened? Talking about the Moadim or you talking about Shabbat? Seems for them, for him, for Rabbi Yehuda, that's the highest level is a Moed falling on Pesach. Le plus haut niveau, c'est un Moed qui tombe à Pesach, like this year. Moed falling on Shabbat, sorry. Like this year, comme cette année.
Pesach on Shabbat.
Yeah. It's huge. How are you going to see? It's all this Mishnah. C'est toute cette Mishnah. Look. Mishum she u yom ilulat hamelech. It's because when Shabbat and Moed were one, is the Ilula of the king. What? Ilula is he passed away. King is the king. Ilula the Melech of the king. But Ilula, if you see in Aramaic, it says Yoma, the Ilula, this man, the Melech is brought up. Here, sorry. See here. Yoma, the Ilula de Malka. Amelech. Look what he said. Chez Neshamot, Itosfot comme o chez Haolam Abba. They say in that moment, even the souls, they are connected to that happiness with the king. Like in Olam Abba, comme dans Olam Abba. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, le Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yitzchak said to Rabbi Yehuda. He said, Katuv, it's written, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekol. Remember the day of Shabbat to make it Kodesh. Mishaninu, so what do we understand? Qu'est-ce qu'on doit se rappeler le Shabbat? Pourquoi on se rappelle le Shabbat pour le faire Kadosh? Zochenu ala yain. So we see that remembering is connected to the wine. How? Because it says, remember the day of Shabbat to make it Kodesh. How do you make the Kodesh? With the Kiddush. So he said, remembering is connected to the wine. Se souvenir, c'est relié au vin. C'est ça qu'on te dit, faire le Kiddush. Le Kiddush, c'est, tu t'es souvenu que Shabbat, il est particulier, donc tu le bénis.
Why
So,
not the words of the Kiddush? Why not the words of the? Why not Yom HaShishi? Why the wine? Why?
but because the way to make Shabbat special is to make the Kiddush on it, because it's make the day Kodesh.
I'm saying you couldn't do Kiddush without the wine.
That's why we conclude that the wine is the element of remembering,
Not the words.
not the words. Because you can say the Kiddush,
Without
the wine on the Friday evening, we have problem.
But they say no, but you can do it from the too.
On the bread, but you
It's still not sanctifying.
you still say à la Boré Père Geffen.
Even the bread.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've never
You,
done it.
you put your hand on the bread,
You
you
still
say
say-
Boré Père Geffen after you say Amotzi.
because everything is inside the Hamotzi.
Yes. So he said the Kiddush is really from the wine. And he said, Vilama ala yain. Pourquoi sur le vin on fait le souvenir? Amarlo, Mishum Shayain ou Simchat Torah. Because the wine is the happiness of the Torah. C'est la joie de la Torah. Ve'ena shel Torah ou Simcha Takol. And the wine of the Torah is the Simcha of everything. C'est le Simcha de tout. What is the yain shel la Torah? Sodot HaTorah. So, think about yain. Okay? והיין הזה מאתר את המלאה בהתרתה. He said, that's wine bring the crown on the head of the king. Ce vin-là, il amène la couronne sur la tête du roi. זה aussi כתוב, voici what is written in שיר השירים. תהנה אורנה בנת ציון במלך שלמה בהתרה שאיתרה לא עמו. We saw it before 2 days. This pasuk. Daughter of Tion, be happy on the crown that the mother of Shlomo gave to his son. And we understood also, on a compris aussi. Bakol tzarir leharot adam maaseh. On everything, men have to show his actions. We saw yesterday. How the maaseh build calmness and tranquilité. Israël Sabah. כמו שנאמר, כי טובים דודייך מיין. Our pasuk, like it's written, because your dodayir, let's say your herbs, your love, your breast, what you want, are better for me than the wine. Yain em tovim. The yain, they are good. Naskira de daïr me yain. On compare les deux daïr avec le vin.
Ah,
So,
c'est que le vin et le fromage sont dans la Mishnah.
ועל כן, קדושת של שבת ביין, והראה, פרשוע והראה, יתבאר. So say that's why the kedusha of Shabbat is on the wine. We finish now. Now it jump. It don't jump. It's the next sentence. La prochaine phrase.
What does that have to do with what we're talking
Huh? You see, go. And look now. בחודש הראשון, ב-14 יום לחודש, which is Pesach. You bring all this to bring you to that thing. What do you do in Pesach? Is the only fest you will really fight Avodah Zarah. You take their goats, you attach them, you say, we're gonna make the shechita on that goat.
That was the whole thing with the in Mitzrayim. They took the lamb.
Exactly.
We made it our food.
Exactly. Vegomer, Rabbi Chia Patah, Rabbi Chia said, Ani yeshena belivier, I'm sleeping, but my heart is aware. Je dors, mais mon cœur, il est réveillé. Now what's happened? We know that if you have something wrong in your stomach, we said last week, what will happen? The stomach have an influence on your shena, sleep.
So you understand for Seder.
Exactly. So what is the gastric acid? If it's not good, you'll be asleep. What is to be asleep? To give entrance to Avodah Zarah. You don't even need to talk about profit. You're done, you're sleeping.
So in a way, was it renit? Is like it's like the juice of the Sitra Achra.
Yafé. And you're so asleep that it's never even not worth it to talk about profit. You are not aware, you're out.
Yeah, but Kavod Chomer, if you're that way on Pesach for the rest of the year.
Exactly. That's why he's not talking about the profit. He said it's done. He said you're done. The renet inside of that place, and you bring it in your mouth as a shalom, you will be asleep. It's like someone you see it, what you know what? The guy is a danger. Some situation, you say, look, this guy is not dangerous. Let him do. No problem, I will fix it in a few seconds. The guy n'est pas dangereux. What does it mean? He's asleep. He's out. This is all the Mishnah that we study. Don't be out. How? Be careful about what you eat with the cheese, because cheese seems to have a worse aspect than the meat on people or Jewish souls.
Really?
Why? Because the meat can bring you to be very instinctive, very animal. What is that? Tava? But the milk, the halal, mais le lait, le fromage, just puts you asleep.
It's true. That's why in the Sort of Hanukkah, the Yehudit give the milk.
He died. He sleeps.
Kill the king.
You are out. So why? So you have to explain. So for people when they see milk, they say, "No, it's white. It's chesed.
Sure.
It's pure. Where does it come from?"
But sure, it's from the Daima Shedim.
And if it's not kosher, it comes from the Paro side. Because Paro got these two letters. Moshe had Ele. Paro said, no, me, it's us. Bnei Cham. So people may come, no, you know what? No, let's bring it down. Halacha. No, Chalav Israel, it's cool. Take your Kinder, take your chocolates, sweet chocolates. It's good. It's per meat. It doesn't mean that it's not kosher. What? Chalav Israel, you are discussing? You're taking your Mars, your sneakers, and you think that you're okay because some rabbis tell you, okay, mutar. What say your Gemara? All these hours, I made you crazy just to let you understand how important is Chalav Israël in your food, in your daily life. Tout ce tour-là qu'on a fait, c'est juste pour vous puissiez comprendre c'est quoi l'importance du Chalav Israël. People think that it's optional. It's a kind of lifestyle. Yesterday I was seeing some documentary, one Jew guy, it's like, no, me, because they found some impurity in some chocolate in France. They find poo and they say, I used to eat that chocolate. How can you say that, you Jew? It's not kosher. And worse than that, you go in the whole city, 5 minutes walk from the Kotel, you go in the shop, you find no Chalav Israël. Being sold. Tu trouves des produits par Chalav Israël being sold. And sometimes when you fall, when a guy is really aware, he's a seller, he says, no, Rabbi, check, because this ice cream is not Chalav Israël. I say, thank you, Tzaddik, I did not pay attention. And you find it here. While we have one Mishnah, no, 2 Mishnayot, talking about, be careful about Chalav. Faites attention à propos du Chalav. What's up with the Chalav? You fall asleep. Qu'est-ce que c'est avec le Chalav? Tu dors. Meaning, hey, réveille-toi, wake up. The guy is asleep. Do your Torah. Do this.
So now we can see, because we saw also that the Daim, they are an aspect of Shin Dalet.
Yes,
It's not normal really that there is those parts in the
because where come from the Chalav?
from
Where from?
the roots, from the la racine comme on a vu ou bien sur le corps?
No, from where this milk come from.
From the nez.
Yes, but before it's arrived here, come from the blood.
The blood.
The blood goes up. That's why it's Pesach. Because Pesach is all about blood. Jamais, blood off. Ça vient du sang, le lait. So just to warn you and we finish, keep in mind, Chalav, in a way, it's worse than meat. That's why Rabbi Chaim Vital was eating meat every day.
No halal.
No Chalav. Like Americans. We don't eat Chalav.
It's not such a
No.
You know what's interesting too? 2 points. One, a lot of Black people, and that's right, for sure in Africa, what they call lactose intolerant.
Yeah. We don't like lactose.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't even fit well
It's not fit.
for our system. That's one of the big points.
Yeah,
People in the third world are lactose intolerant, not just Black people. A lot of Asian Black people in the third world are lactose intolerant. Yeah, throughout the world.
So the second point, well, I'm talking about Black people. No, but I'm saying the second point is could you maybe make an argument that, like, because the Torah starts off Moshe's story in essence about him like having treif milk, right? And then there's different, midrashim that talk about like what happened after that. But like, could you say potentially that generation did not make it into Eretz Israel because they ate treif?
Exactly. It's like this. The fact that the milk will be entering inside of you, being asleep is like being unable to see the Kedusha, the Kodesh. Endormi, c'est d'être pas capable de voir la Kedusha, le Kodesh. So what's happened with Moshe? Moshe said, even from a mom who will convert or is a convert, he refused. Il a refusé. And we become, we trust. We see, let's say the guy, Chalav Israel, okay. But what do you know about the code? where that meat was taken from. Tu sais quoi, ça doit être vache. Mishnah is telling you, Gemara is telling you.
Could be said.
He said, you have to be sure that that cow has been killed not with the purpose of Avodah Zarah.
That's why in Asharim, some people they have their own cows.
Yes.
They don't even buy in the shop.
Do we have factory of milk in Israel? Yes.
There's a few.
Yes, but it has been by who?
I think there's one in the south that they do glass, they do ice cream there.
No, so what is the name of the main factory of milk in Israel? It's called Nedula.
Tvuna, and Tuva. It's Chinese.
Who buy Chinese?
Chinese.
So you think Chinese? They will hold the kashrut? They will hold the profit system. So the milk you drink, how can you be sure that it's really from a cow who was killed by a Jew, respecting the halacha?
Imagine some people
I
have,
agree with all
have
of
their
that.
own cows.
This is too much.
You know that? They have their own cows. They don't buy in shops. No milk.
I know they have I've never seen a cow, but
Not in Asharim, but they go somewhere. They take the milk.
oh,
and they cook
that's
it
for
fresh.
sure. That's for sure. But I know they're doing chickens.
Yeah,
eggs.
you cannot trust. The number one factory of milk belongs to Chinese. The Mishnah is telling you, if the cow wasn't killed with the purpose of Kedusha, it's forbidden for you to eat. Ken Rabbi Benjamin.
In Brazil, they don't recommend to drink
To drink milk.
What use it for?
That's why maybe the solution is to drink
milk. I don't
vegetal milks.
Yeah.
It's better. Buvez du lait d'almande, du lait de coco, du lait, drink almond milk, drink soya milk. But animal, you have two Mishnah fighting you. Okay, you want to drink? Okay, take it. But one question: where is from this cheese you're eating? No, it's Israeli. To Nuva. Okay, to who belongs to Nuva? The Chinese. Okay, I'm not judgmental, but I'm not Chinese. The guy can't put his money. He's not Jew. He's not here to apply you things. He's here to make his profit. If it was kashrut, believe me, we'll never buy it. You don't make money in kashrut.
Even
But be careful. Chinese are known to adulterate the food. I mean,
Yeah.
in America speaking, Chinese products are not very wholesome at all.
Yes.
I've been to Tibet, and Chinese are selling all the bad stuff. They're giving to Tibetans. Bad stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
Cans and stuff that didn't even look like food. But all the bad stuff is sent before Tibetans. They get to the Chinese good stuff. The bad stuff they send out to other people.
Yeah. I love the Chinese. They're our brothers. Lecham. No, it's the sons of Ham. But I know in terms of food,
Don't trust
guy,
them.
I don't trust you.
That's right. Food,
You
food
know,
is Chinese.
It's not where you are strong.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't trust you. We can talk. We can buy your iPhone. No problem. But I will never trust you in terms of food.
They eat bat. That's why there is coronavirus.
So Bezrat Hashem, just keep in mind, Chalav Israel, yes. But actually, if you want to hold a high standard, look, Arakadosh say he was taking Gvina because Gvina, it's, let's say there's an avodah, there's a work behind, and you can check because in that level, Gvina is done in front of you from Arakadosh. But the Chalav, it's so easy to get it. It can come from anywhere, anytime. How do you check?
It's only for Navila, or is it for both Navila and Trey?
No, for both of them. But
Any-
he said,
any sort-
but it's
for any
focused.
blemish?
It's focused on Nevela because he want to talk about the animals that they offer to Shalom Shalom. Oh Hashem. Shah Ezra.
6, 7, 9.
Okay.
9. לא מים חמים. חמים.
אין מים חמים, רק לזכר. לא, זה לא דלוק. זה לא דלוק. לא, זה עיקר זמן, כי זה לא משתמשים בזה, זה רק בשבת. כי אין מים שבת. שמחה, ביי.
אין מים.
Bye bye. So basically it's like this. we have to be careful about what we put in our mouth. That's it. Especially halal. If you want the advice of Rabbi Chaim Vital, eat meat every day. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Rabbi Pincus, should I give you a call?
1 second. I have to cook something for people and after I call you.
No worries.
Okay?
Bye. Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. So I'll call you.
No worries. Bye.